body weight.
And how much do they weigh?
She weighs about 3 pounds.
Oh.
Yes. So she's not going to go after your dogs and cats. She can, and if she's starving, would be able to stay on the ground and eat a larger prey item. However, that puts her very vulnerable to other predators that are around because she's not paying attention. She has to have her head down, eating, her wings out, so she's kind of mantling. Mantling is kind of shadowing people from seeing, and that's where they spread their wings out and kind of curve them around so you can't see what they're eating. So she wouldn't really be able to take off with your house pets at home. So that's definitely a very common misconception of where did your house pet go? It most likely wasn't with these guys, unless they weigh a little under a pound. So very, very difficult for them to eat on the ground, like I said. And when we feed her on the ground. She always grabs her food, and then she'll take it up to a branch and eat it, because that's where the safe thing is. It's an instinctual thing. She knows she should be safe in her enclosure, but it's an instinctual thing for her to bring her food back up onto that branch and eat it. Does anybody else have any questions before I put her away? They are scavengers if they have to be. They will if they have to be. If they're hungry and they need to eat, then they'll do what they have to do to eat. But not very often will they go after like carrion and things like that unless they have to. They'd rather have their own mouse, and they can see a mouse scurrying along on the ground from a mile overhead. And kind of put that in even more perspective. If you're standing on one end of a football field with her, and on the other end of a football field there was a newspaper, if she could read English, of course, she'd be able to read that newspaper, that fine print, line for line. So they have 8 times greater vision than we do. Now, I mentioned her vision is compromised. It's about 7 times greater than ours. So she still sees way better than we do. She still has a great ability to see. But when you are out there in the wild, you're a wild animal, you have to have everything perfect for you to be able to survive. It is a very, very rough life to be a wild animal. So she had to have perfect vision, and she did not, so she was not surviving in the wild, and that's why she had to be rehabilitated. All right, I think we're ready to head back, so I can tell you about our next animals.